Good morning, good morning. Hi. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I got a little bit sidetracked. I got a message just when I was about to go live. So, anyways, I'm here. Good morning. Happy Friday. It is boiling here in Mujan. And yeah, the only places to be in the aircon or in the pool. But we're enjoying the mornings and the evenings, and we have ways of coping during the day. If you are joining me live here this morning, say good morning. I'm just heading into the group now to make sure that I'm actually live in there. If you're catching this on replay, hashtag replay. I have a really nice fun session this morning. And it's all about being stuck and getting out of being stuck. And I'm going to talk about the two main types of stuckness that I see. I'm just going to tag people here on the post now so people can find me, because I was a little late and sometimes then I am here so people can actually find me. Okay, done. So people should actually be able to find me now. I'm not seeing any eyes yet. But hopefully this will allow people to find me live, because I always love to have people live, and I like to know who's live. I'm just starting to see the eyes joining me now. Say good morning, say hello, tell me who's here. Yay. People are starting to find me. Good. I'm all energized this morning and ready to go to talk about stuckness, because I hear this a lot. I'll be honest, I hear this a lot. People tell me all the time that they are stuck. And I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit more detail this morning. Sometimes people know why they're stuck. Sometimes they don't know why they're stuck. So while I am waiting for people to join, I'm going to introduce myself, because there's been some new people in the group this week again. My name is Aileen Lane. I am an empowerment and business coach to personal stylists, image consultants, and fashion stylists. I help them to step into their own power, to step up with charisma, and to own their uniqueness, so that they can have consistent income in their business. And by consistent income, I mean 6 figures in their business, 6 figures, which is over 100,000 a year. For those of you who are wondering what is 6 figures, I definitely questioned what was 6 figures when I started. And I do it in 2 main ways. I help my clients with strategy, but I also help them with empowerment, because you can have all the best strategies in the world, but if you are not empowered, if you are not feeling confident, if you are not feeling motivated, if you are not feeling like you bring something special to the world, then you're probably not taking action in your business consistently. So getting back to what I'm talking about this morning. This morning, I'm talking about being stuck and getting unstuck. And sometimes people know why they're stuck, and sometimes people don't know why they're stuck. I see some eyes joining me here. Let me know, say hi. Come on, give me a thumbs up or say a hi if you're joining me live here this morning. I want to know who's here with me. I want to make the session as interactive as possible. It's not going to be anything you heard before. All my sessions really come from the heart. They come from my experience. They come from working with clients. I bring everything to this Friday morning session because it's the main way that I speak to you. It really is the main way that I speak to you. So I bring everything I learn, everything I hear out there in the industry, and I bring it here to this group to help you to step into your personal power and start taking your business to the next level. Okay, so let's talk about the different types of being stuck. I hear two main different ways that people are stuck in their business. And I want you to tell me in the comments which way you think you are stuck. So the first type of stuckness that I see is people not having enough. So what I mean by people not having enough is they feel they don't have enough time to do what they need to do. They're not getting enough money. They're not getting enough return in their business. They don't have enough success in their business for everything that they do. They don't have enough joy in what they're doing because of certain aspects of running a business. They don't have enough energy, or they're not getting enough love and appreciation maybe from their clients. So that's the not having enough part of being stuck. The second type of being stuck is having too much. So it's the polar opposite. So people tell me things like, I have too much fear. I have too much self-doubt. I am too stressed. I owe too much money. I'm in debt. I'm in pain. I'm in too much pain. I find it too painful. So those are the two types of stuck. So the first thing I want you to do this morning is to tell me which type of stuck are you at? You're not having enough success and love and joy and money in your business? Or is it that you have too much, you have too much fear, you have too much doubt, you've too much self-criticism? Which of those two? Put a 1 or a 2. If you are not having enough, put a 1 in the comments. If you are having too much, put a 2 in the comments. I definitely see eyes there, so please do comment. It could be that I'm not really seeing any comments yet. I'm not seeing them in the group yet. So do put comments in there and let me know if you are a 1 or 2. Now I'm going to give you an example of each of these, a case study really, of each of these types of stuckness, because to get out of stuckness, you really have to identify how you were stuck, why you were stuck, before you can even understand how to get out of being stuck. That first step is being stuck. Now, some people don't even realize that they're being stuck, but I'm going to start with the not having enough. Now, this is based on a client that I had on the past. And this client, let's call her Cara. So this client that I had in the past, she used to come to my weekly sessions every week, and she was very, very enthusiastic. She was doing all the things. She was doing. And basically, she was telling me, but I'm not getting any return, or I'm getting some return, but it's not enough. I'm not getting enough money. I'm not getting enough success. I'm not getting enough of a return in the amount of work that I'm putting in. And she kept like just talking. I'm doing all this thing. And then all of a sudden she started getting really, really stuck. So she came to 1 or 2 of the sessions and she said to me, look, I'm really, really stuck. I'm stalling. I'm down in a slump. I can't take any action and I don't know why. And she kept basically telling me that I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm really, really stuck and I don't know how to get out of this. I'm doing all the things, but I'm not getting a return. And the profile of this particular lady, Cara, is that she's really an overachiever. She is a maverick money personality, sacred money personality type. And her way of being in the world is loads of ideas, lots of creativity, struggles to stay with a task. As she gets new ideas, she moves on to the next thing. And consistency and persistence can be a problem for her. This is also what I often see in the alchemist sacred money archetype. I'll put a link in there if you haven't actually taken this quiz with me before. This kind of identifies how you are with money in the world, but how you are with money is actually how you are with everything. So doing this sacred money archetype helps you understand a little bit more what your personality type is and what kind of areas you get stuck in. So she was coming up with all these brilliant ideas. She was kind of acting really quickly on these ideas, but not kind of getting the return that she expected in her business. So one of the sessions she turned up and she was telling me, I'm doing all these things and I'm moving again and I have all these ideas again, but she was moving away from her main focus. She was moving away from her main focus of her program, and she was basically selling something completely different from what her program was about. And she couldn't see herself that basically her thinking was really scattered and really desperate, and while she was doing all this doing, it wasn't terribly effective. And she could not see what her problem was and why she was stuck. She could not, even though many times we have talked about her personality type, many times we have talked about what her tendency is to do. Many times we have talked about, that your message needs to be really consistent. It needs to be consistent. It needs to be focused. It needs to be directed at your ideal client, and it needs to be repeated over and over again for it to be effective. So she was really stuck. And then she was wondering, why am I stuck? Why am I stuck? Why am I not, getting the kind of success, getting the kind of results? And she could not see what the problem was, why she was stuck. So one of the things I had to do is, first of all, say, okay, let's slow down. Let's really slow down, and let's see what's under all this doing. And basically what was under all that doing was massive disappointment. And she just didn't want to really deal with that disappointment. She felt that dealing with the disappointment is really not helpful. It really isn't helpful. She felt that would just take her down into a hole, and she would be even more ineffective. But that's not what happened at all. Once she actually started feeling into the disappointment, there was a lot of grief, there was a lot of sadness, there was a lot of anger underneath the disappointment. And she really had to address some big questions about what was the next action that she needed to take in her business, and how could she consistently turn up with energy, still be creative, still actually get results, still be herself. Because it's not about changing somebody's personality. It's about working with people's personality. I never try to change somebody's personality, because that's totally counterproductive. She is a maverick. That is her personality type. She loves new ideas. She loves creativity. But what really needed to happen for her is she really needed to slow down and use her creativity with her current offer, her creativity around the same message, rather than introducing new things, which was completely confusing her audience. She just wasn't giving enough time to her program, to a single ideal client, really. And she had terrible limiting feelings around, being bored with an ideal client. When I started working with her first, I don't want one ideal client. I want to work with everyone. because it felt really, really restrictive to just work with one ideal client. But the reality is, actually, we can still use our creativity, whether you're a maverick or whether you're an alchemist, with a single ideal client. It's just about thinking about it in a different way. Now, what I actually find really, really fascinating with these sessions on being stuck is that oftentimes I get no comments whatsoever. Nobody comments. Nobody wants to talk about it. I'm not sure if it's because people feel like they don't know that they're stuck, or they feel it's very vulnerable to mention that you're stuck. But the reality is, we all get stuck in our businesses. I get stuck in my business. I have to do the work that I'm talking with for myself. I work with a mentor when I get stuck in my own business. It's not that you'll never get stuck in your business. So we're human. We will get stuck over and over and over in our business. And what I'm trying to do today is to help you to understand what kind of stuckness you're at, and what could be the next step to identify what that limiting belief is, and what could potentially be the next step. Okay, so that's the not having enough, and that was the example I gave you there was Cara. Cara has gone back to her program. She has gone back to her ideal client, and she's using her creativity in getting her message out there in a different way. And she's learning some major new skills in terms of being really consistent and really persistent, because this was something when we had our initial discovery call that was a real problem for her. She had all these different types of businesses. She had then stepped into image consulting, and she was just adding more and more things to make money, but not really making money in the end. So that's one type of stuckness, and that's just one example, of the not having enough stuckness. And what I find with clients is it can lead to anything. Everyone's story is different. Everybody's stuckness is different. Everybody's past is different. Everybody's blind spots are different. It's rare to see two people with the exact same blind spots. It really is, especially in a smaller group of people. Okay, next up is the type of stuckness of having too much. So I get this a lot as well in other different kinds of personality types, like the nurturer, maybe the connector, some of the other types of sacred money archetype, but it can be in anyone really. So a reminder of the not having, having too much. Is that what I've been saying? Having too much. So examples of the having too much is too much pain, too much fear, too much self-doubt, too much stress, too much debt. So I'm going to talk about this other client, and I'm going to call her Red. So this other client, Red, is a client of mine in the past as well. And Red was an overachiever. She had done really well in the corporate world. She had a very lucrative career in HR before she actually joined my program. And she was a doer. She was a real doer. And she created her program and she promoted her program. And then when it got to the point of launch, fear and doubt started to creep in. There was too much fear, too much doubt, a lot of fear, a lot of doubt. And she came on to one of my weekly coaching sessions, and she said that I've basically decided that I'm not going to set a launch date. I'm just going to add this new program to my website, and I'm not going to do a launch. I'm just going to integrate it in because it's the wrong time of the year to do a launch. She had many smart sounding, logical, thought out ideas why she shouldn't go through the launch process to put her program out there. And I listened and I listened, and the reasons sounded really good. They're really, really good, really were very, very good. But I just asked her one simple question, and that was, but what if the launch didn't fail? What if the launch didn't fail and you got 5 clients into the first round of your program? What is this playing small, this limiting belief that you have right now? How much is that actually costing you? So it could be costing her up 8 to 10K, depending on her program. I think her program was around 2K at the time. It could potentially be costing her 8 to 10K by playing small, because of these limiting beliefs of it's too scary. I'm too afraid that people won't. I'm just too afraid that people won't opt in. I'm too afraid that I'm going to have egg on my face. I'm too afraid that everybody's going to see I'm a failure. And once we kind of started digging down a little bit deeper, we started to realize that there was an old story there, an old failure story there, where this had actually happened in the past. And it was kind of a fairly big trauma for her. And she was just terrified to feel those feelings, to feel the fear and do it anyway, basically. And this self-limiting belief was holding her back hugely. It was costing her, just on one launch, it'll cost her 10K. How much is going to cost over a year? Over 100K if she doesn't address this self-limiting beliefs. Now, oftentimes we take these kind of decisions in our business because we feel safer. We feel safer by staying small. We really feel much, much safer by staying small. Oh dear, I am seeing some comments, but not on my feed. I'm really, really sorry. I'm not actually seeing any comments on my feed, so I can't comment on those. Brilliant. Okay, let's keep going. So those are the 2 types of stuckness that I often see. And most people come to my session and they're not even that sure what they're stuck about. They really don't know what they're stuck about. And once you identify what you're stuck about, and sometimes it's extremely difficult to work that out yourself, because oftentimes the stuck and the self-limiting beliefs are down in the subconscious mind. They're not top of mind. The fear and the fight or flight response is up in our head. We're up in our head. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to work out what it is. But all we're doing is going around and around in circles, and we're staying really stuck. So I have a very, very exciting offer for you today. And that is that I have a handful of breakthrough sessions that I'm going to offer over the course of the next 2 weeks. They are completely free. This is a first. They are completely free. I'm going to be helping you to go from stuck to a breakthrough. I am going to require you to do something for me, though. They're not free. I'm going to require you to tell me why you should get one of the sessions. So I want you to write to me and tell me why I should give you a breakthrough session. It's going to be a 45-minute session with me. I'm going to be asking you some questions. I'm going to be helping you understand the cost of where you're staying right now. And I'm going to be helping you to get a breakthrough. So I'm going to be taking you through this session. So I want you to write to me and I want you to tell me why you should get one of the sessions. And then I want you to answer 2 questions. I want you to tell me why you think you're stuck. And the second question I want you to answer is to tell me how much this is costing you by being stuck. Because most people don't realize how much being stuck is costing them. They don't realize how much being stuck is actually costing them. And it's usually costing them a lot. It's costing them money. It's costing them joy. It's costing them freedom. It is costing them all sorts of things, and they aren't even aware of it. And if you want to get into the next level in your business, honestly, you need to get really good of moving out of these stuck places. So I have a handful of sessions. They are available over the next 2 weeks. I'm not going to take everyone, I'll be honest. I want you to show that this will benefit you massively. So it's completely free. Number one, tell me why you should get the session. You can write to me on a message. You can write to me by email, whatever way you like. And then I want you to tell me why you think you're stuck. And I want you to tell me how much this is costing you. If you don't know how much it's costing you, tell me you don't know how much it's costing you. But I really want you to think about this. I want you to think about this. So this is the first time ever that I have done something like this. It's completely new, but this work is lights me up. It brings me a lot of joy, and it gets people moving in their businesses. This is the kind of work actually that I do in my 6-figure stylist every single week, and it's just amazing work, and it helps my clients get unstuck and get back into action and get energized again. So that is my challenge to you this week. You need to write to me. I'll give you 1 week. You need to write to me, but the sooner you get it in, obviously, the sooner you'll get a link to book a call with me. And I only have so many hours to give away. So if you are really interested in this, whether you're watching on replay or whether you're watching it live, get it into me ASAP, and you have a better chance of getting one of these breakthrough sessions. That's all I have for right now. I am hoping that you have a brilliant, brilliant weekend ahead, and that you got something from the session this morning, that it got you thinking. No, I'm not spoon feeding you. I am getting you to think, because me spoon feeding you 5 or 6 points is not really helping you get a breakthrough in this area. You really need to think outside the box a little bit. So I'm going to leave it there this morning. Thank you if you joined me live. If you're watching on replay, #replay. If you want one of these sessions, get writing. Have a wonderful weekend ahead, and I will chat to you soon. Take care. Bye.